is this?
Just passing through. An HFS session with HFS artists and HFS listeners, recorded at Omega Studio in Rockville, and brought to you by the 930 Club.
Just passing through.
Just passing through on HFS.
99.1 HFS. I'm Bob Waugh. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Just Passing Through. We are at Omega Studios in Rockville, Maryland, and very pleased, very happy to have our dear friend back once again. Would you please welcome Tori Amos? Belated happy birthday, first of all.
Okay.
Was it a good one? Tori's birthday was Sunday.
Well, I stayed with the rhythm section all night. They helped me to become 36 because now I'm closer to 40 than 30. So, the Human Loop, Matt Chamberlain and John Evans, the bass player. Always the groove guys. They'll stay up with you. So we were up till 7:30 in the morning. And it was painful the next day. But my husband threw me in the steam. Go. Thou shalt go to a steam for 2 hours.
Thank God for Mark. Many margaritas consumed?
Oh, no. A really wonderful Montrachet. Many Montrachets.
How's your summer been in general? I know, obviously, you've been working on the record, and now you're out on this tour with Alanis.
Well, I had a great weekend with my girlfriends in the tropics, and that was all going really well. And I was like dabbling at some songs, thinking I was going to do the live album and the B-side record. I wasn't going to tour. I was just going to put out a little something for Christmas of '99, just not much work. Well, all of a sudden, things started to shift, and I ended up in England playing all these songs to Mark and Marcel. And they looked at me and said, you can't really put these with the B-sides because they live in a shape by themselves. And they said, you're going to be making a random record. You can't really do that. Theoretically, it won't work. So I had no idea I was doing a double record. The band was booked. They were coming to do 3 songs. And I said, you're going to do 13. Only 11 made the new record. But they were busy.
We should explain to people the new album is going to be a double album. It's called To Venus and Back. It's going to be in stores on September 21st. One half of it live material and one half all new material, if they divide albums into sides these days.
They're definitely 2 discs, and they're both discs of the planet Venus, and one is Venus live still orbiting, and the other is Venus orbiting, and that's the studio record.
Okay, so how do you feel about the live material? Because anybody who's been to a Tori Amos show knows that the Tori experience is the live experience. And is this material that is with the band for the most part, or does
it's
some
like
of it...
the shows last time, so it's pretty much how a show would run with this thing called Secret Time in the middle. We just call it that because it's shorter to do that than when Tori plays by herself. So we compiled out of 120 shows. We had like the NBA playoffs going on. So everything had a ranking system. 1 being the worst, 4 being the best. I think that's a Dutch thing, Marcel. I have no idea why 4 is the best and 1 is the worst, but in our records, 1 was not good.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of it, we had about 15 songs that had made the semifinals. And then we had to cut them down.
So it's kind of like March Madness.
Yes.
How is this dynamic between you and Alanis Morissette? It's really the first time you've gone out on a co-headlining kind of tour, correct?
Yeah, first time.
Yeah.
We get on really well. Really, really well. I know I have pretty good manners when I meet my contemporaries, but some of them you just want to sit down with. Why? I don't know. And she's one of those people that you just feel like, this is somebody I've known for a long, long time, and I have no idea where.
Well, let's take it the other way, and you don't have to name names. But how often have you been in a situation where you're meeting your contemporaries and you're walking away just thinking, what an asshole?
Well, you know, sometimes I think I do get into trouble because, I mean, Maynard and I get on very well from Tool. And I think we have a good gossip. He loves a good dish, you know. So it's nice to sometimes have somebody that, you know, you can say, God, when this happened, and he's like, you are telling me? And it's kind of nice because it's
shared experience.
Shared experience, and I don't like to be tacky. But there are times when you meet people and go, God, you have a great press agent because you are not like your press. But I just say, see ya, and move on. I don't hang at the parties. I don't go. I find most of my friends aren't in the spotlight, but they're fascinating people. I'm just drawn to a good party, but content, not glitz, you know?
There was an interview I read, and I don't remember where it was now, but it seemed like you had a great rapport with Dave Matthews.
Yes. I'm on his bus now, and my problem is, every time he looks at me and goes, hi, Tori, I am potty. And I have such a hard time. He's such a potty mouth. That's all he did for 4 hours. But he knows it drives me nuts. So we got on, we shared French fries, but I'm on his bus. So every time I pass that part of the bus, all I can think, he's standing there going, hi, Tori, I'm a potty mouth. It drives me nuts.
Tori Amos is our guest tonight on Just Passing Through at 99.1 HFS on Bob Watt. And I had an experience this summer like a lot of people around the world, Tori, where I woke up on a Saturday morning, went down, turned on the TV to learn about JFK Jr.'s flight going down. And the first thought I had, honestly, was, wow, next time I talk to Tori, I've got to ask her about this, because I just immediately thought about Jackie's Strength and the story about how your mom laid you down on the blanket and the inspiration for that song. Now, were you in England when that happened? So, a couple of questions. How did you find out? Did your mom call you? Or
no,
and secondly, what was the reaction like from the British perspective?
Well, okay, here we go. See, the thing is, I found out from Natalie, who works with us, her father had called West Coast time, and he'd been staying up all night. They're 8 hours behind. So he had heard it really early on, because he stays up. He's like an insomniac. So he called and let us know. And we started to turn on European CNN. And there was coverage before a lot of America had woken up yet. And I actually called my mother and woke her up. And she was in absolute shock, my mother, because in Georgetown, when my father was Methodist minister of Dumbarton, they lived on O Street, I think, next to one of the Kennedy sisters. So I think there's a strange tie that people have with them. Metaphorically, emotionally. And my mother wept on the phone, and it was just that she reminded me in 1963 when she put me down because she couldn't, her heart had stopped.
Well, this would seem like a pretty good place to segue into...
Time for me to do my stuff,
Tori Amos on Just Passing Through tonight, 99.1 HFS.
Bouvier till the wedding day,
shots rang out, the police came, Mama laid me on my front lawn and prayed for Jackie's strength. Feeling old by 21, never thought my day would come. My bridesmaids getting late, I pray for Jackie's strength. Make me laugh, say you know what you want. You said we were the real thing, so I show you some more under Elam. What black magic can do. Make me laugh, say you know how you can turn me into the real thing, so I show you some more under Elam. Stickers licked on lunchboxes, worshipping David Cassidy. Yeah, I mooned him once on Donna's box, she's still in recovery. Sleepovers, beans, guts, and pie, you're only popular with anorexia. So I turn myself inside out and hope someone will see. Oh, I'll say, make me laugh, say you know what you want. You said we were the real thing, so I show you some more under Elam. What black magic can do. Make me laugh, say you know how you can turn me into the real thing, so I show you some more under Elam. You're silent, he Jackie, and Jackie, and Jackie, strength, he Jackie, and Jackie, hi.
99.1 HFS, Tori, Amos on Just Passing Through. Do you envision coming back to live here? I mean, now that you're an old married gal and you really have, I guess, even more reason to keep your residence in England. What do you say, Tori? You ever think about maybe coming back and living in the States again?
No. No, the thing is, right, like playing Merriweather tonight, I'm a bit excited and nervous because I used to go and make out on the lawn. We could afford the lawn seats. And it'd be raining, like tonight. I get wet. Like people are going to get wet tonight, probably. And it's just one of those weird, it's not so far from being 13. I mean, I'm 36, but those memories of getting ready to go to the concert, and it's strange now I'm going in a different entrance tonight.
Yeah.
And that's just, but you don't forget. I had kissing potion, wild cherry in my pocket, hoping things would go well for me. All that kind of stuff. The performer was this big. I was like, there are ants up there. And they always ignored us up on the lawn. So.
I bet you won't forget the lawn people tonight.
Not tonight.
No. What shows do you remember seeing at Merriweather growing up?
James Taylor. Strangely enough, but yeah. I wanted to go see Zeppelin, of course, years before, but my father was a bit really ruthless on that one.
Yeah.
Because I was going to go find Robert and ask him to marry me. And I was 10.
I'm sure that would have...
He would have gone for it.
That would have panned out. Sure.
I'm a bit too old for him now. Anyway, what should I do? What do you set up for, Marcel? Okay, doing Lust. That's what we're doing.
nectar, sifting through a grain of gold, tripping at your door. Is that you are alpha in who beloved? And when the woman lies, you don't believe her. Rolling and unrolling, coiling, emerging, running free, running through the underworld into your room. Is he real or a ghost lie? She feels she isn't hurt, and the veil of tears and rages till her voice is all remembered, and her secrets can be told. Gender and nectar, crystalling from the vine, you know you'll drink her. Rolling and unrolling, coiling, emerging, running free, running through the afterworld into your room. So she prays for a prankster and lost in the marriage bed, and he waits till she can give, and he waits and he waits. Ya la la ya.
We're live at Omega Studios in Rockville. You're listening to Just Passing Through on HFS with Tori Amos. And that's called Lust from the new album that'll be out September 21st. Tori, have you noticed on this tour with Alanis any sense of some fans that maybe are there that aren't your audience? Or in other words, I think there might be a perception among most people that there isn't a great degree of difference between a Tori Amos fan and an Alanis Morissette fan. Have you noticed that there actually is separate camps at all?
Well, I think you get a sense of, there are a lot of people, and you hope they're coming for an event, that they're seeing it as this is a few hours of two people really, two pirate ships coming into a cove for a party. That's how you hope they see it. And you're going to tootle onto one ship because you're more comfortable with that first. But you know that they're serving good hors d'oeuvres on the other ship, so you'll go cruise.
So you might go check that out, too.
You might go check that out.
Cloudy sun dying, I'm not pleasing with you, think and dream, run into your thought from across the room. Just another trick, can I weather this? I got a fever above my waist. You gotta squeeze back on your knee. I know the truth is in between the first and the 40th drink. Concertina, Concertina, chill them burns. This I swear, you're the fiercest. Come up in Concertina, Concertina, try infrared. This I swear, you're the fiercest. Come, I'll burn the so-great cabin here in a glass world. Particle by particle, she slowly changes. She likes hanging Chinese paper cuts. Just another fix. Can I weather this? I got my fuzz all tipped to play. I got a dub on your landscape. Then there's your policy of trancing the souls without the blame. Concertina, Concertina, chill buns. This I swear, you're the fiercest. Come up in Concertina, Concertina, try infrared. This I swear, you're the fiercest. Come, I'll burn too far, I said too far. It could all get away too cheerful now. I got a fever above my waist. You gotta squeeze back on your knee. I know the truth lies in between the first and the 40th drink. Concertina, Concertina, chill weapons. This I swear, you're the fiercest. Come I've been in Concertina, Concertina, try infrared. This I swear, you're the fiercest. Come, I've been in clandestine.
That was really beautiful. Concertina?
Concertina.
Concertina.
It's like a squeeze box.
Okay. Tori Amos, and her new album will be out September 21st, To Venus and Back. Tori, you are one of the hardest working artists I have had the pleasure of knowing over the last, 8 years. And it always amazes me that you make the time, even at this point in your career, to do things like you're doing today.
Wow, this is going to the woodshed, you know. Like as a carpenter, I think when you play this close to people, the lights can shield you in a strange way, even though there are a lot of people and there's a strange, almost detachment, even though you're trying to be close. When you're in a small room with people, there's no, good lighting, sweetie. You know, you're very close. So I think you feel more vulnerable, and you have to constantly put yourself there as a writer. I think a lot of songwriters forget you're not going to get a lot of material backstage at the Grammys. Trust me.
So this kind of thing keeps you grounded to a degree?
Very
Is that
grounded,
what you're
yeah.
saying? Yeah. Do you get to do this kind of thing in Europe Or is it mostly in the States where there are radio stations and TV talk shows and there's just so much media after you all the time?
Well, Europe is a bit of a whole nother thing. You're playing places like where Hitler gave one of his last speeches. It's pretty trippy.
Different vibe.
It's a different vibe, yeah. The States are pretty casual, and I think the language barrier in Europe is always tricky, because Crucified was always, Tori, sacrifice me. I thought I was singing Sacrifice Me. I said, no, I'm not talking about sacrificing me. But I would get in the car with a driver. I love that song, Sacrifice Me. No.
Are you saying something is lost in the translation? Could you do one more song for us, do you think?
Yeah, I'll do the one you asked me to do.
Yeah, okay. It's Tori Amos on Just Passing Through on HFS.
These tears I've cried 1,000 oceans, and if it seems I'm floating in the darkness, well, I can't believe that I will keep you from flying, and I'll cry 1,000 miles if that's what it takes to sail you home. Sail you home, sail you home. I'm aware with the rules out, but you know that I will run. You know that I will follow you over Silbury Hill, through the solar field. You know that I will follow you, and if I find you, will you still remember playing at trains, or does they slay? Little blue ball just fade away over Silbury Hill, through the solar field. You know that I will follow you. I'm aware what the rules are, but you know that I will run. You know that I will follow you. These tears I've cried 1,000 oceans, and if it seems I'm floating in the darkness, well, I can't believe that I will keep you from flying. So I'll cry 1,000 more. That's what it takes to sail you home, sail you Say you'll use